What is substantive due process in constitutional law for the bar exam? Have you ever wondered how the government can limit personal freedoms? One important concept in constitutional law that addresses this is substantive due process. This principle protects fundamental rights from government interference, even if those rights are not explicitly listed in the Constitution. It is rooted in the due process clauses of the 5th and 14th Amendments. These clauses prohibit the federal and state governments from depriving any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Substantive due process is different from procedural due process. While procedural due process ensures that government actions are carried out fairly and with proper procedures, substantive due process focuses on the fairness of the laws themselves. This means that even if a law follows the correct procedures, it can still be challenged if it violates fundamental rights. The Supreme Court first applied substantive due process during the Lochner Era. A key case from this time is Lochner v. New York in 1905. In this case, the court ruled that a New York law regulating bakers' working hours was unconstitutional. The court decided that the law interfered with the bakers' freedom to contract, marking a time when substantive due process was used to protect economic rights. However, after 1937, the court shifted its focus. It began applying substantive due process to protect personal liberties instead of economic rights. For example, in Griswold v. Connecticut in 1965, the court established a right to marital privacy. Another important case is Lawrence v. Texas in 2003, which protected the right to engage in consensual sexual activity. For those preparing for the bar exam, understanding the difference between substantive and procedural due process is essential. Substantive due process looks at whether a law itself is fair and just, while procedural due process ensures that the application of laws is fair. When studying constitutional law, it is important to recognize how courts have used substantive due process to protect rights that are not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution. Additionally, being aware of ongoing debates about its application can help you in your bar exam preparation. Many bar exam review courses and resources cover these topics in depth, so make sure to utilize them as you study. Understanding substantive due process will not only help you on the bar exam but also give you a clearer picture of how the law interacts with individual rights.